I'm 79 years old, and the truth is, I worked too hard for too long, and I didn't notice what it was taking from me until there wasn't enough left to give back. I'm saying that now because there's no reason to. Most of the people who would be hurt by it are already gone. The rest have made their peace or their distance. I don't say this for sympathy. I say it because time feels very thin at this age, and thin things don't hold lies very well. These days are quiet. Not peaceful exactly, just quiet. The kind of quiet where you can hear your own breathing and remember things you didn't invite back. I wake up early, even though I don't need to. My body learned that habit decades ago and never let it go. There's nowhere urgent to be, but my eyes open anyway. I sit on the edge of the bed longer than I used to. Standing takes a moment now. Everything takes a moment. When you're old, people think you spend all your time thinking about death. That's not quite right. You think about time, about where it went, about how easily you gave it away. When I was younger, I thought working hard was the same thing as being responsible. I thought showing up, staying late, and being reliable. Those were ways of loving people. Providing was how I understood care. I wasn't trying to escape my life. I was trying to earn it. In my 20s, I was hungry in a way that felt noble. I wanted to build something solid. I wanted to be someone who could be depended on. I didn't want my family to worry about money the way mine always had. So I said yes to extra shifts. Yes to promotions that came with longer hours. Yes to being the one who stayed when others went home. It felt like adulthood. It felt like progress. I told myself there would be time later. Time for dinners that didn't come out of a box. Time for weekends that weren't swallowed by exhaustion. Time for conversations that didn't end with, "I'm too tired tonight." I didn't think I was choosing work over people. I thought I was choosing them through work. My wife used to wait up for me. She wouldn't say anything at first. She'd just be there on the couch, a light on, a book in her lap that hadn't been turned in a while. I'd apologize without really stopping, kiss her on the forehead. Talk about how crazy the day was and how this project would settle things down once it was finished. There was always a project. At some point, she stopped waiting. I didn't notice right away. I came home later and later, and the house was already asleep. I told myself that was fine. She needed her rest. The kids needed their routines. I told myself many things. I missed school plays because there was a deadline. Missed birthdays because a client flew in unexpectedly. Missed ordinary evenings that, it turns out, were the whole thing. When my children were small, they used to bring me drawings and leave them on my desk. I'd smile and say thank you, then stack them neatly so I could get back to what I was doing. I still have some of those papers in a box. The colors have faded. The paper is thin now, like it's tired. I don't remember what I was working on the days they gave them to me. The cost didn't arrive all at once. That's the part people don't understand. It was quiet, polite. It waited. It showed up in shorter conversations, in fewer shared jokes, in the way my wife started making decisions without asking because she assumed I'd be unavailable anyway. I became efficient at being absent. By my 40s, people admired me. They said I had drive, discipline. They said my family was lucky. I believed them. I had money, or at least the feeling of security. We didn't worry about bills. We took vacations, though I was often distracted, checking my watch, thinking about what I'd return to. Even when I was physically there, part of me was already back at work. I remember one afternoon clearly. My son was maybe 10. He asked me to help him fix a bike chain in the driveway. I told him I'd be there in a minute, just needed to finish an email. When I finally went outside, the driveway was empty. He'd figured it out himself. The bike was gone. That shouldn't still hurt, but it does. Not because he needed help, because he stopped asking. The turning point didn't feel dramatic when it happened. That surprised me. My wife got sick in a way that wasn't sudden, just persistent. Appointments, tests, long waits in quiet rooms with bad lighting. I went with her when I could. When I couldn't, I promised I'd make the next one. There were always reasons. She died on a Tuesday morning. I was at work. My phone was on silent. By the time I arrived, the room was already still. Too still. Like something important had stepped out and closed the door softly behind it. I stood there and realized there was nothing left to explain. No future evening where I'd finally sit down and listen without checking the time. Some conversations only exist once. If you miss them, they don't reschedule. After that, work lost its shape. It kept going, of course. It always does. But it no longer made sense in the way it once had. I retired a few years later. People shook my hand. There was a cake, dedication speeches. Then Monday came and no one called. That's when the silence really arrived. My children have their own lives now. They're good people. We talk. We're polite. Loving even. But there's a distance that doesn't come from conflict. It comes from the absence repeated too many times to count. You can't compress a lifetime of missed dinners into a few long phone calls. I don't blame them. This isn't bitterness. It's clarity. Some things can't be fixed once the moment has passed. They don't break loudly. They just fail to form. I used to think being remembered meant leaving something impressive behind. A career. A reputation. Now I understand it's much smaller than that. It's being remembered in the middle of ordinary days. In habits. In reflexes. In the way someone hears your voice in their head when they're deciding something. That kind of memory requires presence, repetition, time spent when nothing urgent is happening. I didn't invest enough there. If you're listening to this, I'm not telling you to quit your job or ignore your responsibilities. Life doesn't work that way. Mine didn't. I'm just telling you what I learned too late. Work will always ask for more. It has no sense of enough. It will take every hour you offer and suggest one more. The people who love you won't compete. They'll adapt. They'll wait. And eventually, they'll stop asking. Not out of anger, out of understanding. That understanding is expensive. I don't have many years left. I can feel that in my bones now. The future doesn't stretch the way it used to. I spend my afternoons walking slowly, sitting with memories I used to rush past. Some are warm, some are heavy. Both are honest. If this meant something to you, hold it quietly. You don't need to do anything dramatic with it. Just notice where your time goes. Notice who is patient with you. They may not always be.